guys, and thank you so much for joining Butterfly Tea Time Tuesday. I hope that you have your tea and your coffee ready. Today, we're going to be going in on the experience that Shantta had in her last hospital visit and health scare with lupus. She really, really impressed me with the way that she was able to advocate for herself and some of the resources that she was able to find. And we're here to share that with you guys today. Welcome, Shantta. How are you doing?
Hey, girl, I'm good. Much better than I was last month.
No,
No, but
seriously, we were so worried about you.
yeah, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Just take it one day at a time, as usual. Anybody with lupus know how it is.
Yeah.
It's always going to be something. It's just how you handle it, in that moment. So,
And you really were a warrior through this. It was very impressive the way that you not only fought through the health scares that you were experiencing and all that fear, but also the way that you were able to advocate for yourself and really kind of like build that model of what that looks like. And now you can take us through that.
ooh,
So tell us about what you experienced.
I hope y'all ready for the tea, Chad. I hope y'all ready for the tea. Now, see, that's why we got our teacups. Now, I woke up one morning, early one morning, with my head just banging out of control. And when I got to the hospital, I just knew I was going for a migraine cocktail. They give you a little cocktail, then it relieves your migraine, and they send you home. So I go, made up and everything, ready to get back to work when I get home. And that's not what happened. I ended up staying 10 days. But while I was there, the day before I left, I ended up going into, I almost had a heart attack. And it's because I went into severe tachycardia because the new doctor, now, I don't know if y'all know how hospitals work, but it's normally the doctors are on 7, off 7, off a few days, then on 7. So I'm in there 10 days already. So the doctor that was seeing me when I first got there is no longer seeing me. So she leaves the notes to the new doctor. Now she's treating my pain, right? I'm having pain that's on a whole nother level, something I've never experienced in my life. It was worse than a lupus flare-up. And that's saying a lot, but it was just all in my head. It made me, it was worse. It's worse than a migraine. Migraines can get bad, make you sick to your stomach, can't stand the light and noise and all that type of stuff. But it was much, much worse. And so I was on a lot of pain medicine. And when that new doctor came on, she just stopped it. She just stopped it out of nowhere. She didn't wean me off or anything. She just stopped it, and I started having symptoms. I didn't know they were withdrawal symptoms, but when Rapid got there, Rapid, if you don't know, Rapid is just like paramedics in the hospital. So when the nursing staff calls Rapid, it's usually because the patient needs rapid help. They need help right now. So that was the scariest thing that I have actually lived through. I couldn't see because the migraine was so bad that I was having light sensitivity. So they were blinding me. I was wearing blinders the whole time I was in the hospital. That's 10 days. So I didn't see nothing that was going on around me, but I could hear everything. I could hear all the machines, and I could feel my heart just speeding up out of control. My limbs, my feet, and my hands were contracting in on each other like they were stuck. Girl, it was chest pains. I was starting to feel numb and tingly all on my left side, which was scary in itself. So the more the paramedics was hearing these symptoms, they was like, y'all know what this is. This is withdrawals. Get her this, do this, do that. And so I'm hearing this. I'm like, withdrawals? How can I have withdrawals in the hospital? And it's all because the doctor didn't wean me off that pain medicine. Now I'm on Dilaudid every 3 hours. I'm on oxycodone every 3 hours. They giving me stuff in between because nothing was touching my pain. Nothing. Even what they was giving me wasn't touching it. So when I noticed that they knew something was wrong when no one came to see me that following morning. And every day I had been in the hospital, the doctors would come and check in on me in the morning. They would do their rounds, no matter if it was the weekend or not. But this day, no one comes. It's 2 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
They were doing some major behind the scenes damage control there.
They were. Yes, ma'am. And when I tell you, it's almost like I felt shameful. Like they made me feel like a criminal, like I had done something wrong, like I was seeking pain medicine. And I'm like, I've been throwing up because I've been in so much pain. I lost almost 15 pounds in 10 days. You know, I'm like, y'all see that I'm in this pain for real, for real. So what makes you think that this is anything on me? Let's talk to the doctor.
That's where it goes back to it being an invisible disease. Because that is what they think with their lack of education at times, and shame on them.
Exactly. But what girl, I just, like, they wanted me to stay. Right? And I was just like, I feel like you guys don't even care about me anymore, because they changed. Their whole energy towards me changed. The nursing staff changed. The techs changed. The doctors. It's like that doctor went back and just badmouthed me to everybody. And these were people that I had been conversing with my whole stay there. They knew me by first name now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Nurses coming in and having 10, 15-minute conversations with me. And now all of a sudden, I'm just...
And I feel like what that gossipy way of operating was that she did was she went back and she was like, God, all she wants is pain medicine. Like,
exactly. And see, when I reported her, I had to report her fee mainly because when I got home, the withdrawals were worse. It's almost like I shouldn't have left, but y'all put me in that position, making me feel like I couldn't trust you. I almost died in your care, you know, and now you want me to just trust you when I know you back there trying to save face. You know, so I had to leave because I couldn't trust the doctors, the nurse. I couldn't trust nobody. And when I told them I wanted to leave on AMA, they tried to take my hospital bans. They tried to take every bit of proof that showed I was at that hospital from me.
Wow.
I have copies of my hospital ban, because I said, oh, you just better take them off right now. They wouldn't even let me get down to the first floor. Soon as I walked out of the room, it was a desk right there. And she said, Miss Stevens, we need to get those bans.
Don't they let you usually leave home with those? I've gone home with the band on me and been like, oh, I still have it on me a million times. Wow, they were doing some major damage control.
Now, all this, and I get home to a hurricane. I get home the day before or 2 days before the hurricane. You know, so I'm just like, and I'm still going through the withdrawals, and I'm more fearful, more agitated. I'm feeling sick, like hurting all over, just like nauseated, throwing up, just it was a lot going on. And I'm just like, I should not have to be dealing with this by myself at home. My family didn't know what to do. I had to find an article myself that talked about withdrawals and the steps I needed to take and how to get my family to support me. I shared that with my family, and that's what helped us get through it.
So you really did like a lot of your own research and you trusted your gut and listened to your body. And that's what we talk so much about in Lupus Glitter is listening to your body and being your own advocate. But we kind of wanted to break it down and kind of show you what this looks like in actuality, step by step when you're in this type of a situation.
Yeah. The self advocating is really big with lupus because, like you said, and it's an invisible disease, so people treat you like you not sick. So if you don't advocate and stand up for yourself, then who will? You know, but that lets the doctors treat you right, you know, and effectively. That lets the people in your life, your loved ones, your friends, and the doctors support you together, you know. So
Absolutely.
that gives you more control over your own health.
So what happened after you were home and you were going through all of that pain? Like, how did you get through that? Like, what were your next steps?
Well, after I found the information about the withdrawals, then I was able to say to myself, okay, so now I have a name to it. So now I can name it. Now that I can name it, I know what this is. Now that I know what this is, I know how to treat it. And I know how to be kinder to myself now. Right? Because I was blaming myself. I took on everything that they dished out personally. And I felt it. Yeah, all that judgment. Yeah.
Being held captive at the same time and then watching them clean their mess up after they almost like put you into like anaphylactic shock.
I'm like, so y'all think I just wanted to be poked and prodded for 10 days, go through all these tests. You think I wanted to do this?
And you guys, just to give you a little background on Shantta and what she was going through, they actually had found some fluid in her brain and she had to have all of that drained out. So what she was going through wasn't something little by any stretch of the imagination. So I can't imagine how scary this situation was for you. And then to come back to a hurricane and realize that no one was advocating for you and Mike was on you. You had to like totally navigate and do your research and figure out what the heck to do.
Yeah. And I knew that I needed to handle this situation, but I knew my health was going to have to come first. You know, I said if the hospital can't help me, then I have to be willing and ready to rescue myself. Just point blank.
So what did you do? I don't think I knew what to do.
I spoke up for myself. I called the ethics line. I called the ethics line of the hospital and I reported the doctor.
I didn't even know they had. First of all, some of us don't even know that they have an ethics line. I didn't know they had an ethics line. So that is just very informational to find out. We can find a resource when we're alone and scared in the hospital going through this.
Yeah, you can report the doctors, you can report the hospitals. I think we have the number to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Yes.
So you can either report them to their own ethics line or you can call the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and report them there. There may
Okay.
be other ways, but this is the route I took.
So then they are actually above the ethics line.
Yes, because the
Okay.
ethics line, that's just with that hospital. So they're going to protect their doctors. They're going to protect their image.
Of course.
Right. So just like they tried to protect themselves when I was leaving, I have to be willing to do the same thing for myself now that I'm out and got these bills. They still got to be paid, and still have a life that I still have to cherish and manage. And Lupus, I still got to manage. So I think we wanted to talk about how to take control of your own health.
Yeah, the way that you took control, you cared for yourself. You lifted yourself up through this while your family's trying to navigate, everybody's turning around you, and you were able to kind of take your health into your own hands. When you got home, like, what did you do to take care of yourself to kind of just get through this?
Honestly, I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I journaled a lot, but I journaled a lot. And even when I didn't journal, I just did breath work, meditated, you know, um, and I read things that I knew would kind of keep me out of that self-blaming mentality, things that I knew that would. I play games with my son and my husband. I tried to distract myself from the pain that I was feeling
And also
emotionally.
allowing yourself and also allowing yourself to have that good cry and all of that
Yeah,
rest and do things that are going to enrich you, because now you're going to battle, and that's what being a lupus warrior is. You're
every
preparing for
day.
the next battle and getting through this one, building yourself up stronger to navigate this situation. That's a warrior.
Yeah, and I had to remind myself that I've been here. Maybe the situation didn't look like this, but I've bounced back so many times before.
Yeah.
That was enough proof for me to know that I can bounce back from that too. So
Yeah.
I just tried my best. I sat on the side of the bed and I was crying. I said, look, this is just withdrawals. We're not gonna blame ourselves. We're not gonna do it. Just breathe, Shantae. It's not you, it's them. It's not you. Just breathe. That's I had to talk to myself because that self-blame was trying to kick in, you
Yeah,
know.
and that was them giving you that amount of shame. And I remember talking to you, and me and Delibra would call you every day, and you were just staying so strong and positive. I think that you had like maybe 2 moments where you're like, I just got to get out of here, like crying and upset. But
Yeah.
you did a lot of healthy moves that are really, really good tips to share with other people going through this that don't know what to do or who to call or how they're gonna persevere onto the next war.
Yeah. I look, y'all, in order to make sure that something like this don't happen to you, make sure you keep your medical records. Make sure all the doctors are on the same page. If you just had a procedure at one doc with your rheumatologist, let your cardiologist know about it. Let your pain doctor know about it. Everybody needs to be on the same page in order to make sure that, because I have more than one disease that kind of overlaps with another. So if
Yeah.
I don't keep my people on the same page, then they're gonna end up giving me a medicine that's gonna, interact with another one. It's kind of what I'm going through now.
Yeah, and that's like really, really common with lupus to have like other linked autoimmune. And then it gets more complicated for them. And when they haven't done all the research to begin with and they're just taking it case by case, it can get really, really complicated. And that's why it's so important to like do the things that Shantta is suggesting today. And I know that you can reach out to Shantta day or night, and she will be your girlfriend and help advocate for you and help you with some of the tips that she's sharing today when you're in that place all by yourself.
Yes.
So,
Ask questions, get a second opinion, whatever it takes. If you don't feel good in your own truth, bump what everybody else saying.
yeah.
If you don't feel good about the procedure, the doctor, the nurse, just speak up. Can I speak to somebody else? Can I get another doctor?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, who paying for it? Even if you are on Medicare, it's attached to your Social Security.
Even though they act like they're God, they are not, and they actually are doing a job that they can actually get in trouble. We just have to know the right avenues to report behavior like this, because it can't go on.
Exactly.
So we just want to share this number with you guys. You have a lot of comments. One comment is, it's very scary and frustrating. My heart goes out to you and prayers for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
One viewer said, I was going into major allergic reactions and have been diagnosed with skin lupus and what is it? Mast cell. So this is a thing that a lot of people are experiencing out here, being subject to the hospital systems and the doctors. And that's where Shantta has done a lot of amazing research to find some of these numbers for us. And we'll share that again with you guys. So this is the head of the head above the hospital ethics number that you can call if you think that things are going down and not being handled to your best care.
Mm-hmm. You guys reach out to me. I don't mind at all. I answer any questions that I can. I'm not an expert in this field by any means. I'm only speaking on my experience.
Yeah.
But definitely reach out. I'm here.
Yeah, and you can find her. She's in Lupus Glitter with me, of course, as a co-host, but then her group is actually called Lupus Self-Care and Wellness. If you wanted to join her group or kind of share her movement that she's doing for the lupus community. And then you can also get a hold of her through Facebook Messenger, which is the same way that you can get a hold of me and also Delibra. Well, I thank you so much, Shantta, for really doing the good work to find these numbers and fight for your health so that you're still here with us and that you can spread this information to other lupus and autoimmune warriors out there.
Yes, ma'am. Wouldn't have it any other way.
We hope this helped you guys. And until next time, fly free.